This is a lapped zipper. Now basically what it's done is the fabric is lapped over, looks like it's lapped over, and that's hiding the zipper. So it's great it's perfect in when you make pillows, but it's great in your clothes because the fabric still looks the same and all you've done is hide the zipper. So let me show you how simple this is to do. Now anytime you put a zipper in anything, and I've talked about this before, you must stabilize that area. You don't have to interface the whole garment, but you must stabilize the area where the zipper goes. That way you're ensured the zipper is going to lay perfectly flat. So as you can see on this, I have just a little piece of French fuse right exactly where that zipper is going to go. So that's really preparing your garment for the zipper. Then you're going to baste your seam allowance, and basting is a longer than normal stitch length. That's usually the longest stitch length on your machine. So you're going to baste that shut, and then you're going to go to your iron and you're going to press that seam open so that you have a nice finished seam. Now this is woven fabric, and did you notice that we talked about seam finishes before? This has just been finished on the serger. That's so it doesn't ravel away. So the next step that you're going to do is that you're going to stitch one side of the zipper, and when you do that, you're going to stitch that one side of the zipper with just the seam allowance to the outside. You notice I'm not stitching through the whole garment, and let me close this up so that you can see. There's no stitching on the outside. I'm really just stitching on the edge of the tape. Let me put it back over here again. On the edge of the tape, and I'm stitching right next to the edge of the seam allowance. So you can see that stitching because I've even done it in a darker color. Then what you're going to do is to pick the whole thing up, and again you're still only working with the seam allowance. And I'm going to fold it like this, and I'm going to roll this edge in just a bit, and I'm going to top stitch right here, right next to the edge. And this is what it's going to look like when it's all done. Let me turn this over so that you can see. When I've turned this over, can you see that that is almost kind of like you're facing? So here, let me lay it like this, it's easier to see. And so I've stitched like right next to the teeth, and that's really you're facing for that zipper. Now I'm going to fold the one that's not been sewn. Nothing's been sewn to this side, and I'm going to fold it over that zipper. And then what I'm going to do is to turn it over like this so that you can see again, and I'm going to stitch right next to the edge of the teeth on the opposite side. So let's do that one more time. I'm going to fold this out. I have the zipper tape, teeth side down, zipper pull side down, and I'm going to sew on the edge of the tape right next to that seam, right next to the edge of the seam. Then I'm going to turn the whole thing this way, like this, and I'm going to roll this forward. Now I'm not catching any of the garment itself. All the garment is over here on the side. And I'm really going to stitch right next to the edge of the zipper teeth, and that makes your facing. So again, this is what it looks like. Let me move this one. And this is what it looks like when I do this, right next to the edge of the teeth. All right, then I don't have anything stitched on this side of the seam allowance, so I'm going to fold that over, and now I'm going to stitch this side. And this is what it looks like when you stitch on the other side. Let me stitch this, fold this up real quick, zip this up real quick, and you can see what I've done is I've stitched on the opposite side. Okay, then guess what? You're really finished with your zipper, because all you have to do is do a top stitch on the outside that holds that in place. And what it's doing is it's actually holding this zipper tape, and it's stitched into the seam, but it's holding it in place so it doesn't flap around. And what you have is a beautiful hidden zipper. And I even put one in royal blue so that you could see. You couldn't see that zipper at all. It's completely hidden, and you have a beautiful lapped zipper. I hope you enjoyed the video. Now it's time to check out the website. Everything is on there. You can purchase the pattern, the book, all the notions I talked about. You can join the Fit Club and check out the classes where I'm teaching. And be sure to follow me on Facebook.